Namaste Badani and Jai Jinendra. Today we are going to be talking about Gautam Swami, our inspiration. And today's topic is going to be delivered by Ritaben. Ritaben, thank you very much for giving up your precious time for us. It's Ritaben Shah. She's a very experienced teacher at SCVP and Veerayatan. Our huge thanks to Ritaben for delivering this fascinating topic. I understand that she has also studied under Acharya Shri and Shilpaji, and so we definitely would like to speak to her in this instance. Ritaben, please.
Thank you so much, Kavita. So let me just share the slides. Badane Jai Jinendra. Okay, can everyone hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. So Jai Jinendra Badane, before we start, let us do Nauka mantra together. Namo Arahantanam, Namo Namo, Namo Setanam, Namo Namo, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Namo, Namo Uvajjayanam, Namo Namo, Namo Loye Savasahunam, Namo Loye Savasahunam. एसो पञ्चनमोक्कारो सव्वपावपणासनो मङ्गलालञ्च सव्वेसिं पदमं हवै मङ्गलम् पदमं हवै मङ्गलम्. So as Kavita said, my name is Rita. I'm going to talk to you about Gautam Swami and why is he our inspiration. And I am a teacher of Sri Channa Vidyapith Jain School, mainly teaching children there. And the school was created by Acharya Sri Channaji Maharaj with Shilapiji Maharaj. So it would be nice if, as we go along, if you have any questions, then you can please unmute and ask us the questions as we go along. Okay. I want to bow down at the feet of my Guru, Acharya Sri Channaji Maharaj. She is the spiritual head and visionary of Veerayatan, the first woman Acharya in the Jain religion. She renounced her worldly life and took the religious vows of ahimsa, compassion, truthfulness at the age of 14. She is well read and a deep thinker. For 12 years after her Diksha, she took a vow of silence, and in that time, she not only read the Jain texts, but also the Vedic and the Buddhist texts too. The teaching of Tirthankara Mahavir, Maitem Bhuye Sukappaye, which means universal friendship or let friendship be our religion, is etched in Pujya because she's fondly known as Pujya. So this was etched in Pujya heart. This led her to unveil the path of compassion in action and selfless service for the renounced monks and nuns. Throughout her life, and she'll be 89 years on 26th of January this year. But throughout her life, she has devoted her entire life to the motto of compassion in action, relentlessly pursuing the causes to transform lives, whether it is in the lawless state of Bihar, the Mahavir Bhagwan's land, and to the devastated earthquake areas of Kutch and Nepal, transforming thousands and thousands of lives through seva, which is humanitarian work, siksha, which is education, and sadhana, which is spiritual practices. The government of India in 2022 bestowed on Acharya Shriji, the owner of Padma Shri, gave her the award of Padma Shri because of all the work which she has done and in transforming millions of lives. So today we are going to talk about Gautam Swami. I'm wondering how many of you have heard of Gautam Swami? We are able to put your hands up or write on the chat. Or rather, is there anyone who doesn't know, hasn't heard about Gautam Swami? I can see few hands up. And anyone who hasn't heard about Gautam Swami? No? Okay. So people feel a deep connection to him and they want to be like him. I am one of them. I would like to be like Gautam Swami. There is great adoration for him in the Jain religion. So who was Gautam Swami? How did he meet Bhagwan Mahavir? And why is he an inspiration to so many of us? That's what we are going to explore today. So to start with, just a little bit of background. So what was life like when Bhagwan Mahavir was born? Life was difficult at that time. The order of religion had disintegrated, leading to miseries. Animal sacrifices were taking place everywhere. Women suffered. They were treated as slaves and commodity and were dependent completely on men for all their needs. And caste systems were followed so rigidly, and it could be found, and it was found in every aspect of life. And the people from lower caste were subjected to indignity and humiliation. And surprisingly, there was restriction of knowledge. Knowledge of the scriptures remained the privilege of the select few. And no one else had the right to even listen to the scriptures. And Sanskrit was used as the primary language, especially by the upper classes, and a language which no one else understood. So it was in this time that Bhagwan Mahavir was living. After 12 and a half years as a monk, Bhagwan Mahavir was meditating by the banks of river Rujuvalika in Bihar. Bhagwan attained Keval Gyan, meditating under a tree, shedding all his ghati karmas, so destroying the deluding karmas of anger, greed, ego, deceit, destroying the knots of rag and dvesh, which is attachments and hatred. And then all his jnana varnya karma, darshana varnya karma, which is knowledge deluding, knowledge obstructing karmas and perception obstructing karmas, were also shed. And his antray karma, which is the energy obstructing karma, was shed too. Once all these negative karmas were shed, he attained Keval Gyan. So he went to Pavapuri overnight, where a great sacrificial ritual was about to take place. And this is where Bhagwan Mahavir and Gautam Swami met. So how did they first meet? The story began in the city of Pava, which is now called Pavapuri, which at that time was a beautiful city, very lush and fertile. Gautam Swami was called Indrabhuti Gautam. He was 50 years old and he was an eminent Vedic scholar. On that particular day when Bhagwan was going to Pavapuri, on that day Gautam Swami was also in Pavapuri and he was invited to conduct a sacrificial ritual by a rich Brahmin called Somil Arya. In fact, there were 11 great scholars with their disciples who had gathered in Pavapuri at that time from all over India. All of these scholars were highly versed in the Vedas, and they were experts in conducting Vedic rituals. Indrabhuti Gautam, together with his brothers, Agnibhuti Gautam and Vayubhuti Gautam, they were also present in Pavapuri at that time. This was going to be a great, grand ceremony. And unfortunately, hundreds of animals, including goats, cattle, were bound in the nearby fields awaiting slaughter, the ultimate offering to the Lord of Yagna. There was no doubt that Indrabhuti Gautam was extremely learned. It is said that he learned the meaning and the philosophy of the Vedic sutras in Varanasi. Varanasi itself was an important center of learning in India. And it was a place where Vedic scholars from all over India came to learn and also participate in philosophical debates, which were really popular. So Gautam Swami, as we know, was really knowledgeable and intelligent, but this grew his ego more and more. And instead of using this knowledge to progress and purify his soul and also teach others, he instead got involved in taking part in these debates. And the more he won, the more egoistic he became. And according to tradition, in debates, the loser and his disciples would become followers of the one who was the winner. So in that way, Gautam Swami really never lost even a single debate. And he, in fact, had 500 disciples of his own. And all of them were present at the sacrificial ritual, which was going to take place in Pavapuri. So there was another problem. He was so knowledgeable, but yet he had some doubts. So what was his doubt? His doubt was about the permanence and impermanence of the soul. So going back to Pavapuri, there was a lot of commotion going on to making last-minute preparations before the great sacrificial ritual started. Indrapati Gautam, from a distance, saw that the heavenly beings from heaven were descending in Pavapuri, and the people were flocking, and that pleased him a lot. But then suddenly he saw that no one was coming to where they were going to do their ceremony, but instead they were going elsewhere. He found out that there was a Arhat Guru who had come to Pavapuri, and his name was Mahavir. He was going to give a sermon in the Mahasen Gardens on the outskirts of Pavapuri. And everyone was flocking towards in that direction. How do you think he felt? He had great ego. So that ego could have been flared up and reacted to this. How dare someone comes here at the time of this grand ceremony which was going to occur and give a sermon so close by? At the same time, maybe he had some inquisitiveness in him to find out more about who this Mahavir was. So he resolved to go and investigate. He wanted, in his mind, he thought he will go there, have a debate with Bhagwan Mahavir, and he was bound to win the debate because he had never lost a debate so far. So that was how this started. So there's a beautiful stuti called Shri Gautam Stotram. And I'm sure many of you know this, have heard of this stotram and know this stotra. So this is in praise of Gautam Swami. And I would like to recite the stuti and explain the verses further, which will tell us a lot more about Gautam Swami and his life and his qualities. Shri Indraputim Vasubhutiputram Prithvi Bhavam Gautama Ratnam Stuvanti Deva Suramanavendra Sagautamo Yachatuvanchitam Me. So his father was Vasubhuti and mother was Prithvi Mata. He had two brothers called Agniputi and Vayuputi. Gautam Swami was worshipped by all, so he was liked by all, respected by all, and he was a jewel in his clan, and the name of the clan was also called Gautam. श्रीवर्धमानात् त्रिपदीमवाप्य मुहूर्तमात्रेण कृतान्येन अङ्गानि पूर्वाणि चतुर्दशापि स गौतमो यच्छतुवाञ्छितं मे. So in this verse, we learn more about what happened when Gautam Swami first met Bhagwan Mahavir. When Bhagwan Mahavir saw Gautam Swami, the first thing he said was, Goyama, you have come here? So Gautam Swami was puzzled. How does Bhagwan know my name? This name which only my mother uses for me in a loving way. But then he thought to himself, I'm sure others know that my mother calls me by the name of Goyama. I am so famous here that I'm sure that's the reason why Bhagwan knows my name. But then Bhagwan said, Gautam, I know you have a doubt, the doubt about permanence and impermanence of the soul. Now that really surprised Gautam because Gautam had never ever told anyone about his doubt. Bhagwan then said just 3 words, Upaneva, Vigameva, Dhruveva. Creation, destruction, permanence. So as an example, I'll take an example of gold. With gold, we can make bangles. Then we can make necklaces, for example, with it, and so many other things after that. So the mode will change, but gold remains as gold. So in this way, all the substances will change, but they are not perishable. So another example, we are born, we die, the body changes, but the soul remains. This is eternal. The soul was there yesterday, the soul is there today, the soul will be there tomorrow. Its qualities of knowledge, bliss, love, and compassion have always been there and will always be there. And this is what is permanent. On hearing this, Gautam Swami attained Samyak Darshan, unlocking instantaneously the deep understanding of reality. The reality that this soul and the body are different. Gautam Swami's doubt cleared, his ego completely dissolved, and within himself unveiled unwavering humility. He made Mahavir Bhagwan his guru, and all his disciples, all the other Vedic scholars and their disciples did the same. So he became the chief Ganadhar, and in total there were 11 Ganadhars. The role of the Ganadhars was to look after the Sangh and the Sangh's well-being, carry out administrative work, but also whatever Bhagwan was teaching everyone, they would ensure that everyone could understand what was being taught. So they had a big role to play there. In fact, Sudharma Swami is the one who put all our agams together into different parts. So we are indebted to Sudharma Swami, who was one of the Ganadhars, for the work he did in this area. श्रीवीरनाथेन पुरा प्रणीतं मन्त्रं महानन्दसुखाय यस्य ध्यायन्त्यमीसूरिवरा समग्रा स गौतमो यच्छतुवाञ्छितं मे. So right up to the end, Gautam Swami took Bhagwan's words and listened to him. Each word of Bhagwan was a mantra for Gautam Swami. Even in the last Sambhosharan, before Bhagwan's Nirvan. Bhagwan asked Gautam Swami to go and rescue animals which were being slaughtered and educate Dev Sharma who was going to be slaughtering these animals. Gautam Swami really wanted to stay with Bhagwan, but his devotion for Bhagwan was unparalleled. He could have asked someone else to go instead because he really wanted to stay with Bhagwan. But he did not do that because Bhagwan is the one who gave him these instructions. Yasyapitanam munyopi sarve gruhanti bhiksha pramanasya kale mishtanapanam parapurnakama sagautamo yachatuvanchitam me. So you will all know how well regarded and loved Gautam Swami is in the Jain tradition. Even today, people remember Gautam Swami before they begin any auspicious task and respectfully bow down to him and ask for his blessings. Ashtapadatro gagane swashaktya yo yo jinanam padavandanaya nisham yatirthatishayam surepya Sagautamo yachatuvan chitam me. So Gautam Swami had special powers through all the spiritual practices he used to do. He was known for his tap, where he fasted for 2 days continuously throughout his life. Gautam Swami was also a great follower of imposing conditions which had to be met before he would break his fast after 2 days. And this we call a bigra. And if these conditions were not met, he would start another 2-day fast without eating any food. So it's incredible the practices which he used to do, and to do them with equanimity. So this verse tells us that he used one of his powers to astrally climb to Ashtapad mountain, which is a very holy place where Rishabdev Bhagwan attained moksha. I'm not sure why Gautam Swami wanted to go to Ashtapad mountain. Perhaps he wanted to pay obeisance to Rishabdev Bhagwan and other jinas. Or perhaps he wanted to help the yogis who were doing extreme spiritual practices, which is what the next verse is about. Tripancha Sankhya Shakatapasana Tapa Krushana Mapunar Bhavaya Akshina Laptya Paramanadata Sagautamo Yachatuan Chitam me. So on the way back down from Ashtapad mountain, he met these 1,500 yogis with their 3 gurus. So there were 3 gurus and each of the guru had 500 disciples. These gurus had been undertaking very severe penances to achieve liberation. And their bodies were very weak and shriveled as a result and from the sun's heat, intense heat. When they saw Gautam Swami and how strong and divine he looked, they were full of admiration for him and wanted to become his disciples. Gautam Swami immediately told them that they should become disciples of Bhagwan Mahavir, who was his guru. Gautam Swami, seeing how weak they were, wanted to feed them and break their fast. But he had only 1 bowl of kheer, which he was given. But he had these magical powers of Akshina Mahanas. And with that, he fed all the 1,503 yogis from this 1 little bowl of kheer. But of course, he was joyful. He was joyful because he had just broken, he had fed these yogis who had done this intense fasting. Sadakshinam bhojaname vadeyam sadharmikam sangasaparyayeti kaivalyavastram pradado munina Gautamo yachchatuan chitam me. So here I'm sure you have all experienced this. When we feed someone, that someone gives us so much happiness just by accepting the food we have given and by showing that appreciation. And in that, when we are happy, then we want to do something more for them. So in Indian tradition, one gives dakshina, which is a gift after feeding someone. So Gautam Swami was also feeling very joyful with the fact that he had given food to these very weak yogis who had just broken their fast. So after feeding the yogis, Gautam Swami asked them to come with him to see Bhagwan Mahavir. On the way, Gautam Swami told them amazing stories of Bhagwan and his teachings. And by doing so, he in fact bestowed upon them a magnificent gift. And what was this gift? It was the gift of omniscience, Keval Gyan. All the 1503 yogis attained Keval Gyan even before they reached Mahavir Bhagwan and they met Mahavir, before they met Mahavir Bhagwan. This really touches my heart. Every time I recite this stuti, when I come to this, it really touches my heart that Gautam Swami really wanted Keval Gyan. But here he gave this gift to all these 1,503 people. It really touches my heart. Shivam gate bhattari veeranathe yuga pradana tvavimiheva matva pattabhisheko vidade surendre Gautamo yachchatuan chitam me. So all the 11 Ganathas of Bhagwan Mahavir, apart from Gautam Swami and Sudharma Swami, had attained Nirvan by the time of Bhagwan Mahavir's own Nirvan. Nirvan means, so we talked about what Keval Gyan is, where all the ghati karmas are shed. So that means deluding karmas, the knowledge obstructing and perception obstructing karmas and energy obstructing karmas. So all of them were shed. So what is left now is body-related karmas. So when that is shed, then that's when liberation occurs. So what happened? Gautam Swami was not even there when Bhagwan attained Nirvana. He was elsewhere. And we know that he had gone to rescue the animals and educate their Sharma as per instructions of Bhagwan. So when he heard about Bhagwan's liberation, how do you think he felt? He felt really sad. He cried. He had so much attachment for Bhagwan. He wanted Bhagwan back on this earth. And he wanted Bhagwan to come back so he can be with Bhagwan all the time. And then he suddenly thought, what am I saying? What am I thinking? Really? Do I want Bhagwan back just for my selfish reasons? And in that thought, which went deeper and deeper, he also attained Keval Gyan. How incredible. So Bhagwan's moksha was on Diwali day, and then on New Year's Day, Gautam Swami attained Keval Gyan. At that time, Gautam Swami was 80 years old. So he was 8 years older to Bhagwan Mahavir. And he attained liberation at the age of 92 years in 515 BC. Shri Gautamasya, sorry. Shri Gautamasya Prabodhakale Munipungavaye Pathanti te Suripadam Chadeva Nandam Lapante Nitaram Kramena Pathanti te Suripadam Chadeva Nandam Lapante Nitaram Kramena. So this verse tells us that this stuti is dedicated to Gautam Swami. And those who recite this stuti daily will be able to attain tremendous happiness and actually get inspiration on what life should be like and what values we should be living by. So this was the Gautam Ashtak. So there's a few other things I want to talk about. So about some of Gautam Swami's qualities. I want to explore some aspects of the relationship between Gautam Swami and Mahavir Swami. We have learned so much about Gautam Swami, but there are two things I would like to focus on. One is humility, and the second is that very strong, unwavering faith and love he had for Mahavir Bhagwan. We saw a couple of incidences or stories where Gautam Swami showed his unwavering humbleness. The first was when he first met Bhagwan Mahavir. His ego dissolved. Remember, he had gone there to debate and get an upper hand over Bhagwan Mahavir. But instead, his ego dissolved, and all that was unveiled was his humility. And also when he met the 1503 yogis, they wanted to become his disciples. But Gautam Swami did not say, yes, become my disciples. But what did he say instead? He directed them to become disciples of Bhagwan Mahavir. And then the joy he had in giving the precious gift of omniscience, Keval Gyan. That just shows this unbelievable humility which he had. The third incident, which really again teaches me that how humble he was even though he was so learned and probably knew the answers to the many questions he asked of Bhagwan, yet he asked and asked Bhagwan Mahavir countless questions about the philosophy and the reality of life. It just shows his immense humility. He asked more than 36,000 questions, which are part of the Bhagavati Sutra. So we, in fact, can say that we are indebted to Gautam Swami for all these questions which he asked, to which Bhagwan answered, and all of that is present and available to us now. And then there was this love between Bhagwan and Gautam Swami. And this was a very strong feature of the relationship between the two. From Bhagwan Mahavir's perspective, this is not surprising because he had love for everyone. It wasn't that he had special love for Gautam Swami. He had love for everyone. But Gautam Swami's love for Bhagwan Mahavir was so strong that in fact it had become an auspicious attachment, which he ultimately had to break to attain Keval Gyan. And I remember there's a beautiful shlok in Kalyan Mandir, which really, I feel that really tells us how Gautam Swami was feeling. The shlok goes like this. Yadyasti natha bhavadangri saroruhanam bhakte phalam kimapi santata sanchitayam tanme tvadeka sharanasya sharanya bhuya swami tvameva bhuvanetra bhavantarepi. It says, if I have done some heartfelt bhakti, then hey Prabhu, if you want to reward me for this, then the only thing I want is that I am under your protection for all my lives to come. So you can imagine this is what Gautam Swami wanted. He didn't want Keval Gyan. He didn't want anything else. All he wanted was protection of Bhagwan, but also to be in the presence of Bhagwan. That's all he wanted. Yeah. So you can imagine what the extent of love he had for Bhagwan. Some of you may also know of the story of Gautam Swami and his encounter with Anand Shravak. Gautam Swami had gone to meet and pay his obeisance to Anand Shravak, who was well known for the practices, the spiritual practices he used to do. During the meeting, Anand Shravak happened to mention that he could see the widest extent of the universe through his Avdigyan, which is clairvoyance, the knowledge of clairvoyance. Gautam Swami did not believe what Anand Shravak was saying. And in fact, he thought that Anand Shravak had to repent for lying. But when Bhagwan Mahavir told Gautam Swami that Anand Shravak was correct and had spoken the truth, Gautam Swami immediately and without hesitation went to Anand Shravak to apologize and to ask for forgiveness. And this shows that Gautam Swami not only listened and acted on the advice of Bhagwan Mahavir, but his humbleness again comes in here. That it was not like, oh, Bhagwan, that I am much higher than Gautam, than Anand Shravak, so I should not um, apologize to him. There was nothing like that in his mind. He was going to break his fast, but he did not even do that. He did not wait for that. He first went and apologized before he even broke his fast and eat something. There was none of this, let me think about this attitude, or let me do this later once I have broken my fast and eaten my food. Nothing like that. It was like he knew he had to do this first, and which was to go and ask for forgiveness. So Bhagwan saw that Gautam Swami had deep love for him. And he often used to tell Gautam Swami to be utmost careful in and care about making sure that he is progressing and developing himself. There is one particular chapter in Uttara Sutra where he warns Gautam Swami not to be negligent even for a moment. So just to give you an example, so this is from the Uttara Sutra. And it says, with passing of nights, the mature pale leaf of a tree gets shed. Same is the fate of human life. Therefore, Gautam, do not be negligent even for a moment. And the whole, like there's not only one or two verses, there are like the whole chapter is telling Gautam Swami, don't be negligent even for a moment. You have become so old, your teeth are falling off, your hair is becoming white, so etc., etc. So Bhagwan is so straightforward with him, and he's really telling, nudging Gautam that, come on, don't get in, separate or get detached from me. That's what he's trying to say. But this is a message not just for Gautam, it's for everyone, for all of us. And really, this is saying that human life is precious. And Bhagwan wants everyone to know that we really need to develop ourselves all the time. So this is my final slide, and I just wanted to tell you that this is how Gautam Swami has been an inspiration, I'm sure, to many of us. Just one thing is Gautam Swami attained Nirvana on Vaibhagiri Hills, which is in Bihar in Rajgir. And at the foothill of these hills is where Veerayatan is. But this beautiful hill is where he attained, and other Ganathas attained Nirvana. Thank you. Any questions, any comments, anything else you know about Gautam Swami, which would be nice for you to share?
Please feel free to ask any questions.
Anyone? Anyone has any other stories of Gautam Swami which you want to share? No? Yes, yeah. Someone has a question. Yeah, why don't you unmute and ask? That will be good.
Hi, Ritaben. Thank you so much. Really learned a lot about Gautam Swami. Just probably a misunderstanding on my part. You said Gautam Swami was 50 years old when he met Mahavir Swami.
Yeah.
And then he attained Nirvana at the age of 92. So did Bhagavan Mahavir attain Nirvana and then meet Gautam Swami, or?
So Bhagwan Mahavir got Keval Gyan when he was 42 years.
Okay.
And that's when, so he met Gautam Swami almost straight away. So
Right.
Bhagwan was 50. When Gautam Swami was 50 years, Bhagwan was 42 years old.
Okay, and then
Bhagwan had Keval Gyan for 30 years and then had got Nirvana
okay,
at the age of 72.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then Gautam Swami attained Keval Gyan the day after, straight away after Bhagwan Mahavir. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
That's right. On New Year's Day, it's a special day for us because
Yes.
it was Gautam Swami who attained Keval Gyan.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, someone has asked me a question about, is it true that 150 of his disciples got Keval Gyan before Gautam Swami? I am not sure about that, really. I'm not sure, but I know that so many people got Keval Gyan before him that he used to get depressed about it. So he would ask Bhagwan, why is it that I'm not getting Keval Gyan? And Bhagwan would say it's this attachment, right? So, you have this deep love for me. So yeah. But yeah. But I'm not sure about the question of whether how many of his disciples got Nirvana before him. Probably many did. I wouldn't be surprised.
Ritaben, I just wanted to, I've heard somewhere that there were certain numbers of questions which Gautam Swami asked Mahavir Swami, Mahavir Bhagwan, and based on that, there were some agams written, or
Yeah,
am I understanding it wrong?
No, it's Bhagavati Sutra.
Oh, it's a Bhagavati Sutra.
All the questions and answers are there. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Ritaben, are we able to get the Bhagavati Sutra from somewhere?
I'm sure you will be able to download it. What I'll do is let me have a look through it,
Okay.
and I'm sure it's there. So let me have a look, and I'll send the link via Shantipai. If I find it, I'll send a link. Maybe
Thank you.
tomorrow or the day after. I know
Oh.
someone who knows how to find these things. I'll ask him.
I've seen a PDF thing, I think, on when I was looking through it. So maybe that's it. We can't get the hard copy?
You will be able to get it from India.
Yeah, okay. And the Agam as well?
Yeah, you can get it. So there is all of our agams, or almost a lot of them, because I've got a few of them, which was a commentary by Amar Muni Maharaj, and they are in English as well. So there is
Yes.
the Prakrit is there, Hindi is there, and then English is there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, and someone has suggested Jain e-library. It might be there as well. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
But if I find one, I will definitely send a link through.
Please, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Jai Jainendra, Ritaben.
Hey, Jai.
Am I mistaken? Is it Gautam Swami who had that power to go to the Astapad?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. Yeah. So he had the astral power. He had Labdhi because he did a lot of spiritual practices, and of course that we have a lot of power within us to and get these special powers. So he used it in a good way, but there was an example of Stulibhadra Swami. Even he had the power, and that power was used in a negative way, and which stopped Bhadrabahu Swami giving more knowledge to Stulibhadra Swami. So what this energy is there in us, the power is there in us, but Gautam Swami used it to feed the yogis and also to climb up Ashtapad.
So would that be before Bhagwan, before he met Bhagwan Mahavir, or
No, all this is after. Yeah, when he was Bhagwan's guru.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So, Jai Jinendra, Rita, yeah, hi. You say that Gautam Swami to 1500 ola badahata 1500 he had the power to give them I was not talking about Kir, I was talking about did they attain Samyak Darshan? He had the power to give Kevalgnan. So he had the power to give Kevalgnan to 1500.
He became an instrumental cause for it.
Yeah, instrumental goes to 50. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's incredible. So when they went to Bhagwan, so there was always, when Bhagwan was there sitting, then those who have Keval Gyan are on one side and others are on another side. So all these yogis went on this other side where there were others who had Keval Gyan, and Gautam Swami said, well, what are you doing there? You need to come this way. And Bhagwan said, no. Let them be where they are. They should be there. So yeah, I took it.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Someone has asked a question about, is there a connection between Gautam Swami and Gautam Buddha? No, there is no connection between them. I think they may come from, I don't know if they came from the same clan. I don't know about that. And that's why they're called Gautam. Yeah, I'm not sure whether there was any other connection. There wasn't, because even with Mahavir Bhagwan and Gautam Buddha, there wasn't. I think in history they are saying that they may have met, but they were contemporaries. They were almost there at the same time. Do we know how many pearls Gautam Swami have, like Mahavir Bhagwan? Not that I have read anywhere, because we normally talk about vows for Tirthankaras, but we wouldn't do the same for, I haven't seen that for any other people, any other souls. But I do know for sure that Gautam Swami was there at the time of Mahavir, one of Mahavir Bhagwan's previous lives, when he was Tripushta Raja. Gautam Swami was the charioteer for that, when he was, Bhagwan was, Mahavir Bhagwan's soul was as Tripushta Raja. Yeah. Is there a book which explains basics of Jainism as in the story of Jainism? I'm not sure what you mean by that. What exactly would you like?
I'm trying to say, like, if he explains everything, how, like, the Bible would explain.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so like
Yes.
one scripture.
One
So,
scripture,
so
just, yeah, basic.
Acharya Shri Channaji Maharaj, she always says that Uttara Dhyan Sutra, which is Bhagwan Mahavir's last sermon, we
Okay.
can say that that is like our Bible. We can say that it is like our Bible because it's one scripture where everything is there. There is philosophy in there. There are lots of beautiful stories in there. And it is worth all of us to read Uttara Dhyan Sutra. It is so beautiful.
Uttaradiyan, right?
Yeah.
That can be
it's the
obtained
last,
in English as well?
Yeah, so it is available in it is available in English translation. It's called Uttara Dhyan
Okay, thank you.
Sutra. It's the last sermon of Bhagwan Mahavir.
Okay, thank you.
And the whole of it is there. It's so beautiful. Yeah, you should, if you get, I will see if I can send you the link for that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Ritaben, it's Paula speaking. Jai Jinendra.
Hi.
Hi. Is it also not true that the questions which Gautam Swami asked Mahavir Bhagwan actually is applicable to to our lives?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so even if we listen to the questions and the answers, I think would help our lives, how we deal with everything. Correct?
Absolutely. That, I can imagine that that's why Gautam Swami asked so many questions.
Yes, it's for our
Asked you.
benefit rather
Yeah.
than for his benefit. So
Absolutely.
indirectly, he was asking for us. So yeah,
Absolutely.
so we should be indebted to him.
Yeah, absolutely. I would.
Lovely explanation of Gautam Swami in such a simple form, but lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other questions before we do Manglik?
Ritaben, it's not a question, but Jayshree Ben has said it's Akash Gamini Labdi for Ashtapad climb.
Okay.
And she said it's 6 pearl.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Ben, I just sent you a link. I don't know if that's the one that you are talking about this sutra. Is that the one, the Bhagavati Sutra?
Have you sent one?
Yeah, I've just sent it to you, messaged you.
Yeah, let me have a look and I will, yeah, it looks like it. But there are others as well. Yeah, it must be the same one. Yeah. But there are others. So yeah. So maybe you can share this with everyone on the chat so that.
You can share it. I can't share with everyone.
Okay, so I think the team will share it with everyone. Yeah. Thank you so much, Shalini. Okay, so should we, if you have no more questions or thoughts, then we can finish with Manglik. Share the words. Namo Arihantanam, Namo Sittanam, Namo Ayaryanam, Namo Vajjayanam, Namo Loye Sappasahonam, Eso Panchanam Karo Sabapavapanasana, Mangalalancha Sabve Simpadamam Havi Mangalam. Chattari Mangalam, Arihanta Mangalam, Siddha Mangalam, Sahu Mangalam, Kevali Pannato Dhammo Mangalam. Chattari Loguttama Arihanta Loguttama Siddha Loguttama Sahu Loguttama Kevali Pannato Dhammo Loguttamo. Chattari Saranam Pavachami Arahante Saranam Pavachami Siddhe Saranam Pavachami Sahu Saranam Pavachami Kevali Pannatam Dhammam Saranam Pavachami. Om Shanti Shanti. Michami Dukram, જો કઈ mistakes થયા હોય પણ yeah. Oops, sorry. I'll stop sharing. Yeah. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye, Jai Jinendra Vada.
Thank you very much, Ritaben, for this lovely insight into Gautam Swami today. I think it was truly inspirational for everyone. So I think for the next 3 weeks, we will be having different talks. So do watch out for the email that will be coming out to you guys. And then we will be joined by Ajit Bhai after that, after 3 weeks. So if there is any other questions, please do send them through to Shandip Bhai. We will try and answer them. We will try and also share the Bhagavati Sutra with you guys as well. So that's it from us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ritaben.
Jai Jinendra. Yeah, thank you.